Hey guys, it's Stasia and welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a first on my channel. I'm actually going to do some quick reviews on two books that I recently read. And yeah, we're just gonna go through it. So I think we're going to do one book at a time. Obviously, the two books that I'm going to be doing like a review for in this is The Donut Trap and You've Reached Sam, both which I've read within the past few weeks. I'm gonna leave timestamps so that this will break into chapters, so that one part will be for You've Reached Sam and the other part will be for The Donut Trap, if you want to watch either, if you want to watch both. So first we will go into The Donut Trap. So this is an adult book tagged as romance, but I think it's more of contemporary romance in my opinion. So this book is basically about our main character Jasmine, who is currently working in her parents' donut shop. She's kind of in between life right now after just graduating. She's not sure what she's going to do next. So we're just following Jasmine as she is making her way into the world, figuring out what she wants to do next. There is a love interest, Alex. He comes in and out. They used to be friends but never really like did anything else. I think they were just like casual friends, so that never explored into anything. But Alex moves back into town and things start from there. So let's talk about our characters. The main character we have is Jasmine. I actually found her to be very relatable. I believe she's Chinese, or she's Chinese American, and she's basically just lost. She doesn't know what she wants to do. I found her inner monologue to be really clear. She was indecisive at times and there was like some miscommunication, which isn't usually my thing, so that kind of didn't vibe with me well. But I felt like for her age and what her situation was, trying to figure out everything, I really liked Jasmine as her character. Like I said, she was really relatable. She wasn't very, like, she was very imperfect and she kind of just went with that. Our love interest Alex, we don't really get much on him, if I'm being honest, and that's why I think this is more of a contemporary than it is a romance. Alex, I mean, he seems funny. Their relationship is very like bantery, very lighthearted. Of course they like run into trouble and things like that, but that's about it. The only character we really follow is Jasmine and everything that she's doing. Her parents are also in this, and there are some side characters, but Jasmine is our main girl. So now we'll talk about the plot of the book. Like I mentioned, Jasmine is basically feeling like she's stuck working in this donut shop with her parents, not really sure on what she's planning on doing next or what opportunities are really available for her. So I actually found the plot to be very well done. The only thing is, since this was tagged as a romance, I expected a lot more of the romance, but there wasn't much of that. Overall, the plot in following Jasmine trying to figure herself out was really well done, which brings me into the pacing and the writing. I thought that the pacing was very well. It was good. I will admit that it did take me a little bit to get into the book, but once I was in the book, I was in it. I really enjoyed it. I also enjoyed the writing. There are parts where it's like text messages. I can't seem to find an example of any right now, but there are like parts with text messages, which I really love in book when they add like that multimedia element. So that was really fun. Yeah, the writing was fun, easy to read, got through it great. Some content trigger warnings in this, I would say, is refugee experience conversations. There's also talk on racism and depression. So that would be my content warning for this. All of that being said, I gave this book a 4 stars. Like I said, I really enjoyed it, but since it was tagged as a romance and it was very much lacking the romance, I couldn't give it above a 4 stars because it was mismarketed and I went in with completely different expectations, so it didn't quite meet that. But I think if you are going into this thinking it's more contemporary romance than like romance contemporary, then I think you will really enjoy it. And yeah, that's this. Next, we have You've Reached Sam. This is about a girl named Julie. We follow her as she's dealing with the aftermath of her boyfriend, Sam, who has just died. The main thing of this story is she's going through her day, really missing him, obviously. So she decides that she's going to call him just to hear his voice again, like his voicemail, but he actually ends up answering the phone. So we follow all of that. So our characters, the first character we have, our main character obviously is Julie. I really liked her. She is currently a senior in high school. So she does have like a group of friends. So there are a lot of side characters, but I really liked Julie. I felt like she was going through a lot and wasn't sure how to express that to others. So she's very like internally like keeping things to herself, which I think does happen a lot. So I felt like she approached that very well. Well, I won't say she approached it very well, but I will say her character, like I think it's valid how her character acted and responded to things around her, especially because they are in high school. Apart from Julie, we have Sam, which isn't really, like, I wouldn't consider him a main character, mainly because he pops in and out. We're mainly following Julie as she is like grieving over Sam, so I wouldn't say he's a main character. And then we have a bunch of side characters, which I really liked. I think our main like 3 side characters are all friends of Sam or Julie or both of them, and that was Yuki, Oliver, and Mika. So those were like our 3 main side characters, and I really like them. They all are trying to help Julie, but also trying to grieve Sam as well. So then their friendships start to like grow over that. There's a lot of like tribulations that come along with that, just because they're not really understand how the other is grieving. So there's a lot of issues between them there, which I think is very realistic. So that's our main characters. The plot was very well done. Just like the Donut Trap, I think that this one started really slow, so it did take me a little bit to get into it. But the plot, once you get into it, is very fast moving. I will say that there are like there's like a few paragraphs of like the before, and I didn't really like those as much. I see what the author was trying to do by adding that into the story, but unfortunately, like, I didn't care for like the before, so that kind of dragged it a bit for me. And the chapters are really long, which I hate long chapters. But yeah, so I did enjoy the plot, but I felt like if we had taken out the chapters of the before, I would have enjoyed it more, mainly because I felt like every time we were in a before chapter, I was always trying to get through it so that I can see everything that's happening now, especially since I really enjoyed the side characters. I really wanted to see where things were going and how they were playing out in present day rather than before Sam died, which then leads me into the pacing. Like I said, the first few chapters really weren't grabbing me as much, so I felt like that was fine. But once you get into it and you know the characters, it's really easy to like speed through this book. As for the writing, I did really like it, but I will say that there were some parts where I was confused, mainly because we are following Julie, but we're also in her head. So sometimes she is like describing what she's seeing and you don't know if it's like a dream or real. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, kind of took me out of the story where I needed to like backtrack and be like, wait, where are we in the story? But other than that, I really enjoyed it. Triggers for this book would be grief, an accident / car accident, death, racism, bullying, and then depression, I would say. So my final rating for this was a 4.5. I did really enjoy it, just the beginning. Once I got through the beginning, I really liked it, but it was just getting through those first like 3 chapters or so before I could really feel for it. I felt like the relationship between Sam and Julie were very well done. I did enjoy seeing their relationship and seeing Julie grow, not only with herself but with her friendships outside of Sam, which is very nice to see. I am fortunate enough to not have lost someone this close to me, so I'm not really sure on like the accuracy of the depiction of her depression and her grief, but I feel like everything that she did was very valid, and I could see why she was doing what she was doing and how she was reacting to certain things. So yeah. So that is all I have for today. Let me know if you like this style of like review videos type of thing. Like I said, this will be the first like sit down actual review dedicated to specific books that I have on my channel. But if you guys like it, then I could definitely bring it back again. Those are just some little rapid reviews. Not sure what I'll call this yet, but you'll probably see it in the title. Yeah, let me know if you've read The Donut Trap or you've reached them, or if you're planning to. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. You can like, comment, and subscribe down below if you would like. All of my socials to follow me anywhere else are in the description as always. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!